Hellspack here, and welcome to my review of the Grand Prix Legends 1967 mod for Assetto Corsa. I've been having a lot of fun using this mod for the last couple of months since its release, and you'll notice from my channel that I really enjoy classic F1 cars in general. So I was especially excited when I found this mod, and I'm just going to start off by saying that this is probably my favourite Assetto Corsa mod of all time, and hopefully this video will show you why. The 1967 F1 season was the end of an era. It was the last year that Formula 1 cars had no wings, and with the introduction of wings the following season, designers started a new technological race to find downforce and develop the wings that would be featured in every single F1 car to date. 1967 was therefore a zenith of the sport, where legends such as Jack Brabham and Jackie Stewart took part in races that more often than not lasted for over 2 hours in cars with no downforce and limited mechanical grip. Crashes often ended with fatalities, and many legends of the sport lost their lives racing cars such as these when there was limited runoff, trees lining the side of the track, and cars having fuel tanks that often exploded when they were punctured. So it's safe to say that safety really wasn't a priority back then. Inspired by the classic Grand Prix Legends game, which is over 20 years old at this point, this mod includes 10 cars from the 1967 F1 season. These range from the dominant Lotus and Brabham cars to the classic Eagle of Dan Gurney and the underpowered Matra. The designers of the mod have really taken a lot of time and care to craft high poly car models and make textures which look great, with the looks of the cars being updated and refined as future patches are rolled out. There's an incredible amount of detail in each model, and you can see that the makers of the mod have taken a while to make sure every car looks just right. Every driver helmet has also been included, so you'll be able to notice when Graham Hill flies past you during a race, or when you're going wheel to wheel with someone like Jim Clark in the Lotus. There are still a few cars that still need to be updated to the latest models and textures, but I personally really didn't notice this at all, and didn't find this to be a major issue when I was racing. So the cars definitely look great, but how do they feel to actually drive? A thing I found surprising with the Grand Prix Legends mod is how distinct each car is to drive. Unlike modern F1, teams back then had a lot more freedom when designing their cars, and the rules were open to interpretation a lot more, so the cars of 1967 and this mod vary wildly depending on their design characteristics. Every car in this mod has a different wheelbase, and the chassis and the engines range from inline 4 engines to V8s, V12s and the massive H16 engine of the BRN. Therefore, some cars are much more rewarding to drive than others in the mod, but every car still requires a delicate use of the throttle to really get the best lap times and to not crash. The tyres of F1 in the 1960s were grooved and didn't provide anywhere near the grip that modern tyres do, so you often find yourself sawing at the wheel and fighting to control the slide. But I often found myself just drifting for the fun of it due to the massive slip angle that these cars allow. When you're pushing with these cars, you'll be power sliding and drifting out of corners a lot, but it doesn't feel unnatural at all. It actually feels really natural and fun to drive. And if you're really struggling to drive these cars or are new to driving vintage F1 cars, you can try one of the smaller cars in the mod such as the Matra or Lotus 33. These cars are much easier to drive than the others due to having about 200 horsepower less, and act as a fairly good stepping stone to driving some of the more difficult cars in the mod pack. Every car in the mod pack almost requires a different driving style, and this variety in how the cars handle is something I've actually rarely seen in other historic mod packs. The physics of this mod are probably some of the best I've seen in Assetto Corsa, and it just feels so right to find the limit and push these cars around tracks like the Nordschleife and Monaco in different car and track combinations. And when you watch footage of classic F1 in the 1960s, you'll find that it looks really similar to this mod in how the drivers control their cars, which is really a good sign of how realistic and good this mod is. In summary, this mod is absolutely fantastic. The handling feels almost perfect, and the difficulty in pushing the cars and nailing a lap is a really rewarding experience. I'm immersed whenever I race with this mod, which is an experience I don't get very often in sim racing nowadays. And I feel that with some minor tweaks and improvement to the looks of the cars as well as the handling, this mod could be as complete as it ever needs to be. So that's been my review of the Grand Prix Legends 1967 mod for Assetto Corsa. If you're looking to download this mod, you can get it for free in the link in the description, but be warned that you'll need to own the Kunos versions of the Lotus 49 and the Ferrari 312 for it to fully work. The mod comes with a document detailing the characteristics and handling of every car that's included, so feel free to look into that before choosing what car you want to drive. So if you enjoyed this review and want to see more reviews just like this, remember to like this video, and if you're subscribed, remember to turn notifications on so that you'll be alerted whenever I upload a video. I've also got a new Discord server now, and I will post every video that I upload there as well. It's also a great way to talk about the channel and to suggest any new ideas for new videos or ways that I could improve the channel in any way. Or you could just use Discord to message me or to talk about F1 or anything in general. But thanks for watching and have a great day.